Hello everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of this series of cat color genetics. As I said in the last video, we will be learning about color points today. If you have seen the last 3 videos and understand it, and please go watch the previous episodes before continuing if you have not seen it, or else you will be so lost if you don't. Then this lesson will be a lot shorter than the previous lessons. Why? Because there isn't anything new we have to learn when it comes to specific colors and patterns. In my second video concerning white in cats, I talked about the albinism mutation. To refresh your memory, albinism is a mutation that causes lack of pigmentation in fur, and there are 5 alleles in the albinism mutation. There's the full color allele, which is dominant, and of course the normal gene showing the cat's true colors. Then there are the Siamese and Burmese allele, which are recessive to full color and are temperature dependent. Then there's the blue-eyed albino allele, recessive to full color and the Siamese and Burmese alleles. And lastly, the pink-eyed albino allele, recessive to all the other alleles. You probably guessed correctly, we will focus on the Siamese and Burmese alleles today. As we said, full color is dominant to the Siamese and Burmese alleles, therefore the agouti, or tabby gene, and the solid gene are dominant to the Colourpoint gene. In order to have a Colourpoint kitten in the first place, you need parents that are either both carriers, one parent who is a carrier and one parent who is a Colourpoint, or both parents that are Colourpoints. If a Colourpoint mates with a cat who is not a Colourpoint carrier, then none of the offspring will be Colourpoint. Instead, the offspring will just all be carriers. But where did this specific albino gene come from? Unlike the other colors we have talked about that were produced and common in the Western world, the Siamese and Burmese colors were produced in the Eastern Asian world. In fact, the Siamese breed is considered to be one of the oldest breeds that we know of. This Asian breed originated in Thailand, formerly known as Siam. Siamese cats were considered the royal cats. Why is a Siamese the way it is, no matter what color or pattern it inherits? This particular gene is, like I said, temperature dependent, where the warm areas of the cat are lighter, where the cool areas of the cat are darker, showing the cat's true colors. The cat's tail, legs, paws, face, and ears are all colored areas of the body, meaning they're cooler. This also means that all Colourpoint kittens are born white. Why is this? It's because the warmth of their mother's uterus creates an even warm temperature throughout the kitten fetus's body. Once born, the true color shows as it grows. As it grows older, the warmer areas of the body start to slowly cool down, resulting in the body slowly darkening until it passes away. Since its coloring is a restriction of pigment, Siamese cats' eyes will always be some shade of blue. While Siameses have off-white bodies, blue eyes, and darker legs, tails, and faces, the Burmese can have green or golden eyes and colored bodies, but still have darker legs, tails, and faces. The first Burmese cats were brown, but now they come in all colors. And what would happen if a Siamese and Burmese were to mate together, maybe you are asking? What would exactly happen? Well, it actually did happen, and it created a new registered crossbreed called the Tonkinese. It shares both of the Siamese and Burmese traits, with its warmer body parts being a little lighter than a Burmese's, but darker than a Siamese's, and they have the Siamese's blue eyes. Now that we've learned about the history of the Siamese, Burmese, and even Tonkinese breeds, let's learn how they interact with the Western colors. Determining the color of a Colourpoint cat is just the same as a solid or a tabby. Tabby markings such as ticked, mackerel, and classic still show up, and torties have showed up too. And through the intermingling of the Eastern and Western colors, they've created new color names for these cats. The Siamese patterns have also been called just Colourpoint or the Himalayan series. And with the colors and their names of the colors, they're all the same except one. A chocolate Colourpoint would just be a chocolate point, a blue Colourpoint would be a blue point, but a black Colourpoint is not called a black point. Instead, it's called a seal point. Seal is the official name for black in the Colourpoint series. When a Colourpoint has stripes of any color, it's called a lynx point. When a color point has tortoise shell markings of any color on it, it's called a torty point. And a color point that has both tabby and torty in it is called a torty lynx point. The Burmese also has specific names. Their colors are called the sepia series, and they're almost exactly the same again as the normal colors. However, there is no black Burmese. Instead, it's a dark brown called seal or sable. Chocolate can also be called champagne, lilac is also called lavender or platinum, cream is also called ivory. And they also have lynx point, torty point, and torty lynx points. Tonkinese also has specific names. Their colors are called the mink series. Tonkinese also do not have black, but a dark brown called seal or natural mink. The rest of the colors are all similarly named as the sepia series, but instead the word mink is added to the end. It also works the same way with lynx points, torty points, and torty lynx points. However, their stripes and patches are faded on their bodies, while more accented on their legs, tails, faces, and ears. When it comes to determining colors, say for two cats, either a tabby or a solid, who both have color point genes, it's very easy to determine. As long as you remember that black is the same as seal, natural mink, and sable, it's just like determining for a solid. When it comes to figuring out the percentage of what kitten would be color point and what kitten would not be, we remember that color point is the recessive gene to solid and tabby. Put in a Punnett square, we see that 25% of the offspring would have a chance of being a color point. Now, there are some breeds that combine color pointing with the white spotting gene. Since the genes in white spotting and albinism are different, they're able to coincide and work with each other. Many ragdoll breeds carry both these genes. They can be mitted with white paws and a little white on their face, bicolor, which covers about half of their body, mid-high white bicolor, which covers about 2/3 of their body, high white or van color, leaving only the ears and tail colored, and high mitted, which also covers about half their body. Fun fact is that Grumpy Cat is most likely a bicolor or high mitted color point. And that's it. There's not much more to say. We're actually almost done with this series. We've got one more lesson to go through before I present a special episode, a Warriors-based lesson. Stay tuned for the next episode where we learn about the silver gene.